Hey, what's going on, world? My name is Sean Handy, better known as Keisha'S husband. And right now you are tuned into the 5th episode of the Keisha'shusband podcast. And before we move any further, because I'm hype about this episode, before we move any further, I got to give glory to the biggest homie respectfully, all right? Dear God, in this moment I surrender. And I just surrender to your will. I thank you for allowing the opportunity and bringing me to the door. And I just ask that since you brought me to the door, I just ask that you give me the words to say. I'm not looking for the perfect words, perfect questions, perfect conversations. I just ask that you speak through me, allow this room to be filled with your grace and your love. And I just thank you for this moment. Thank you for allowing Spady to get here safely. Thank you for everything you're doing in his life. And I thank you for him just being open to this conversation. And I thank you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. That's right. This episode is brought to you through God by the good folks at Handed Views. So shout out to Handed Views. And I just want to say right now we have a man that is a father, you know what I'm saying? A proud Muslim man.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? An artist, an entrepreneur. I can't wait to talk about the entrepreneurism, bro, because you got socks. You got socks, right?
Yeah.
You got socks and you got stocks. We're going to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Entrepreneur, philanthropist, incredible poet, I said artist, and so many other things. I want to give it up to none other than me, Spady. Let's give it up to me, Spady. Welcome to the Keisha'shusband podcast, bro.
Thank you, man. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. I want to thank you for starting it off with a prayer, man. Like, it's very rare to have another man pray for you out here. Like, so thank you for that, bro. Like, that was dope.
Hey, bro, I received that, and I want to say thank you. And can I just be transparent and share our text message? Like, just share a brief, like, glimpse of our text message?
Sure.
So I thank you for allowing me. First of all, I thank you for saying what you just said. But in getting to know you and just listening to your music, I came to find out that you are a proud Muslim man.
Yes.
And you know that I'm a Christian.
Yes.
And what you just did right now is something that, what we just did is something that the culture doesn't see. A lot of people don't see. And in the message, I was like, hey, bro, the way I start off the Keisha'shusband podcast, you know, I started with a prayer. And, bro, you met it with so much grace. He was like, hey, respectfully, bro, I'm going to definitely, you know, I'm going to vibe with you. I'm going to sit through it. And I got you. It's all love. Like, you met it with grace. That wasn't exactly your words because you said it probably way cooler than that. But you met it with grace. And I was like, I was nervous. I'm like, yo, I don't want to offend him. And you was like, nah, bro, it's love.
Yeah.
So I thank you for that, man.
Sure, no problem, man. Like, that's just what it is. Like, to you be your religion and to me be mine. As long as we not out here, like, being bad people to other people or to each other, we should be allowed a freedom of expression, you know, for our religious preferences. Like,
yeah,
you know, I'm not one of those people that's gonna be like, oh, you know, God is God. Like, no, I'm not like that, because my book is my book and your book is your book, and your understanding of God is your understanding of God, and mine's is mine's. But as long as it makes you a good dude, bro, like, that's all I care. If it makes you a good person and it accentuates the good in you, by all means, I'm gonna support you in that. So, but you know, you praying for me is dope though. Like, that's hard.
Yo, I love that, bro.
I appreciate that.
Yo, I love that, and I thank you for just receiving that, bro.
No, for sure.
Listen, I'm very excited about this because we met. I'm gonna talk about how we met.
Okay.
So correct me if I'm wrong. The name of the place. I know it was at the World Cafe Live. You know, I want to say shout out to my cousin Shantae. You know, me and my wife, we went out for date night, and we went to a poetry night. I forget the name of the event, but we went to poetry night at World Cafe Live, and I didn't know what to expect going into it. There was a lot of, you know, cool energy in there, dope energy, right? But when you touched the stage, I remember like it was yesterday, bro. You went up there, and I was like, I wonder what homie gonna talk about, because there was a lot of, you know, it was a lot of women performing. It was a few fellas. I'm like, man, ain't nobody holding it down for the fellas. Then you stepped up, right? I thought your voice, I ain't gonna lie, I thought your voice was gonna be deeper. You stepped up with the red Phillies hat. You had the, you know what I'm saying? You just was like Phillied out with the beard and all that. I'm like, hey, what homie about to talk about? And then next thing you know, you just went into your poem, and I'm just sitting there, I'm tuned in. And then you said some things, like you said some things, and I just was like, whoa, it hit me. And I was blown away, because as a man, I could relate to a lot of the things and the emotion, and I felt that. So that's where we met, at the poetry night. What was the name of that poetry night?
Voices in Power.
Voices in Power.
Yeah, that's crazy that was your first time there.
Yeah, that was my first time there.
That's crazy.
And then we met, right? Then we met, and then after you performed, you dipped off. And in my mind, I was like, man, I would love to talk to homie. I didn't know where you went, right? I went to the bathroom. You were right back there, and I walked past you. And I was like, I think that's homie right there. It was dark in there.
Yeah.
I was like, I think that's homie right there. And I was like, man, I want to say something. But where we come from, I couldn't say nothing because it's like Joe, or it was like, it would be Joe, or you just like, you know, doing too much. But I don't subscribe to the Philly rules.
Right.
So I'm Joe. Like my wife would tell you, I'm Joe, right, babe? She'd be like, sit your Joe. I'm Joe, and that's who I am. So I sat back down, and I was like, I'm going to say something. My cousin Shantae said, hey, cuz, I think you should talk to him and get him on the podcast. I said, cuz, you confirmed it. I'm going to say something.
That's crazy.
So shout out to my cousin Shantae.
Shout out to Shantae.
Right?
Battery in your back.
Yo, she did. And I was like, and then we talked. But I'm getting further in the story.
So hold on. I got a funny story about that.
Go ahead,
right?
talk about it, bro.
So I'm standing in the back, right?
Yeah.
And you go by Sean, right? On the show. So Sean comes up, and his approach is just like this. He's like, can I talk to you outside for a minute? So instantly I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like, I'm instantly like, oh, I got like, it's about to be a problem.
Yeah.
Because the way you said it, it wasn't like, you know, like, hey, introduce yourself. Like, can I talk to you? You was like, yo, can I talk to you outside for a minute? So I'm thinking like something that I said in my poem set you off. So I'm
Trigger
like,
me or something.
so I'm sitting here like, oh, I'm gonna have to still off on homie. Like,
and I know you like to listen to your music. You talked about in the story. I'm like, yo, homie like to, you know what I mean? I ain't trying, you know? Yeah, we'll get to it.
I'm sitting here like, oh man, but then you know, you gave me my props and you instantly just was like, you know, I would love to have you on my podcast. This is what I do. I would love to have you on my podcast. And, you know, I'm all about that, bro. Like the indie stuff, like I'm coming to the indie people more than I'm going to the mainstream people. So like people who are like you, and I understand you just getting started in the podcasting. You're actually a photographer. Yeah. You're just getting started in the podcasting. So, yeah, man, to be one of the first is great to me. Yeah.
Thank you, bro. And you got like quite a few first things that you've done as legendary, iconic in the city. And that's another thing that made me say I got to reach out because, bro, when you was up there on stage, I thank you for that was a good recollection of how I am. Because sometimes people recollect you and they be like, not cool. You made me sound really cool. No,
like, you was cool.
Yeah.
You was cool. I think I felt bad. Because I felt like, damn, like why did my mind go straight to violence? Like,
but bro, look where we from. I mean, it happens. The energy, you don't know. And after I listen to your music too, bro, like I could tell like you've seen some things, you've been around some things, and you just don't know this climate we in. You don't know what energy nobody on. Yeah. It could have been anything revolving a girl, could have been like past anything. Yeah. But I'm glad you received it with love because, bro, I definitely wasn't on that, but I gotta be mindful with, I guess, my Joe-ness because you don't know what energy you're on.
We ain't gotta call it Joe, man. It ain't
It's
Joe.
love. How about love? Can we call it love? From here on out, it's not Joe, it's love. We moving with love. All right. Me and Spady declared it. You're not moving Joe in Philly. You're moving with love if you want to embrace somebody.
I mean, you was moving in love. Some niggas be moving. Some niggas be Joe. All right. Some niggas do be Joe. Yeah. But you were specifically out of love, though. Like, your initial approach, how you was like, like the mannerism of it all was just, it was really like street, like, yo, I tell y'all something, man.
Heard that, babe? I got a little street. Spady just gave me the cosign. I'm a little street
really
to
street, though, like the head nod and all that. Like, yo, I tell y'all something for a minute. You did all that. Yeah. The mannerisms was down pat.
Oh, because I had to like, you just got to be like, because I'm approaching you, I'm like, I don't even think like, I'm like, I got to be. Then once I saw your teeth, like you smiling, I was like, all right, yo, bro, this is what I got.
I'm good. I don't want no problems. Initially, like with anybody, I never want smoke. We can have a conversation first. If the conversation lead to smoke, then that's just where it go. But
we moving with love.
Yeah, for sure.
We moving with love. Let me turn that up. I don't need nothing interrupting. That's a little voice joint. But check this out. We're gonna get to that, right? We're gonna rewind back. Okay. Listen, bro. As I got to know you through your music and just your story, I saw that, for years, for like 3 or 4 solid years, from 2008 to 2011, it was going hard. You dropped like maybe several tapes or something like that.
Yeah. So I had like, I think I dropped maybe, I don't know, probably like 3 or 4. 3 or 4. 3 or 4 mixtapes.
And that's in 3 years, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was going hard for some reason. Like, I really don't know if I was like pursuing music or not. Yeah. I was good at it. So I just was doing it. You know, it was just like the thing, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, because if I'm someone that's, you know, going hard at something for 3 or 4 years, the amount of tapes you drop is I think that's not common. People might drop one and then, you know, get a little lazy or just don't do it as consistent. So it shows me that you have a love for music. I want to ask you, from those 4 years, you were dropping music. What was the reason that you just called things to a halt? Like, what made you stop? Because we're going to talk about the gap. Like, what stopped and what happened in 2011? What was going on around that time to make you stop?
That's easy. I became Muslim.
Wait a minute. So you wasn't Muslim during those 4 years?
Nah, I was actually, during those 4 years, I was actually like in the streets.
Okay.
And, you know, doing all the wrong stuff. And, you know, not for nothing, I think I was kind of searching for a relationship with God. You know what I mean? Like, whatever it may have been. You know, of course, you know, my closest relationship, as far as like parental, is like with my grandma, and she from Sumter, South Carolina. Okay. So that's, you know, Bible. Yeah. You know,
hard Christian. It's
hard,
like
super
old
hard,
school
you know
Christian.
What I mean?
Yeah.
So that was all that I really knew, was that part of it. But I was really, I think I like during like 2011, I was just really at a point where I was like questioning God. Like I got a song where I say some crazy stuff. Like it's some crazy stuff like questioning God. And so I just was really like looking for a relationship with God. And I stopped doing all of the bad stuff that I was doing, and I went back to school. Okay. And
let's give it up for that, bro. You went back to school, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Congrats, man. Congrats, King.
Thank you.
What did you go to school for?
I went to school. So I initially went to school for culinary arts.
Okay.
My first major was culinary arts, and then I switched it over to youth work. Okay. And then I ended up upgrading it to behavioral health and human services. So I got my degree in behavioral health and human services.
Yo, congrats! I'm proud of you,
Thank you, bro. Thank you, man.
That's major.
Yeah, thank you.
so that what was going on. So that's news to me. So you weren't always Muslim. I thought you was like, bro, the way that you are now, and from when I hear the music from 2018 on, bro, it's like very impressive. It's very knowledgeable and very like inspirational and just vulnerable.
Thank
you.
I
would have thought you were, the way you are about your faith though, I would have thought you was always Muslim.
Nah, I wasn't. But when I became, so how I actually initially became, like, you know, I don't have the typical story of like, oh, I went to jail or anything like that. I had to do a project. Okay. And I was a procrastinator. Because I was just, you know, everything is just so easy to me. So it's just like I could wait till the last minute and get it done. Okay. So I waited till the last minute to do this project, to pick my topic. Okay. So one of the only topics that was left was like something about Islam. Okay. And I'm thinking like, all right, this is about to be an easy A. You know, the whole side of my family on my mom's side is Muslim. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like, it's about to be cake. So I start studying it. And in studying it, I just started, like, things just started aligning with me. Like I felt like this was like true. Like, oh, this is me. This is me. Like, this aligns with me. I agree with this. I agree with that. I agree with that. So I did the project. I got an A, obviously.
Congrats on that.
Thank you. And then I just continued. You know what I'm saying? I just kept going with my studies, and that was the start of it. And then I started to notice like, more Muslims started to gravitate towards me. Okay. Because of that. Like, and it was people who I were already around, and I didn't even know that they was Muslim. But because I was studying so hard, and like, it started to affect my heart, and anything that affects your heart, it starts to show on your limbs. So my actions started to, you know, like reflect the religion. So I'm rolling my pants up now, the way I dress, growing my beard out now.
I said, did you always have the beard? Because the beard looks good, bro. It looks good.
Thank you. I had sideburns.
Okay.
Right? I had sideburns.
It looks good. It looks good, bro.
I had sideburns, and I had like the little, I guess like a goatee.
Okay.
But I ain't had a connect though. I had the Elvis Jones. Like I had the.
Oh, you were struggling a bit.
Yeah, I was, but purposely though. Yeah, I was purposely struggling. Yeah.
We good? 5 minutes? Oh, we good. So you were struggling. So it's funny because you say that, like, I want to ask you, how did you get your beard to connect? Because people, like, that's a struggle in Philly, bro.
How it just happens for me, bro.
Yeah.
I had a
like,
good
you ain't put
creative-
nothing in there, no oil or nothing.
Nothing, bro. Nothing. I never did anything to my beard ever. Not ever. Not nothing.
That's good to know, because I ain't gonna lie. I was just telling somebody today, like, my beard, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. My beard used to be a little choppy, but right. And I think as I start growing and just like being like, just growing as a man, no lie, it just start connecting.
It just fills in, bro. When you start living right, them dudes who be having patchy beards, they don't be living right.
When
man.
you just start living right.
You start living right, you get a good beard, bro.
Ooh, you start living right. Because
I'm trying to tell you.
I was living it was a little crazy, but when I start living right, my beard really start connecting.
You start living right, man, you get a connection going for yourself.
Bro, that's a gem. You start getting the connection like internally and right here.
I'm trying to tell
so
you.
Fellas, if you want your beard to connect, words from Spady and me, but more so Spady, because he's living proof. Like, look at that. That's an incredible beard. My joint is on the way, right? You got to live right, and your beard will connect. That's the secret to it.
Start living right. I don't know. I don't got the secret to the growth, but
it'll connect.
It'll connect, though. Get your life together. It'll connect.
All right, cool. So talking about, the beard connecting and just being, being a Muslim and just growing into that, I want to ask you during that, because that's, like I said, that's news to me that you weren't always Muslim. So during that time when you stopped making music and you were focusing on your faith, what did it look like for you in your friend circle, in your life? What did that look like for you? Did you lose friends? Did you gain friends? Was it a breakdown? What was going on?
I ain't gonna say I lost friends. I think, so I've always been like a leader.
Okay.
Right? So even in doing the wrong stuff, you get people to follow you. Yeah. So I've always had that about me.
Okay.
And once I started like channeling it towards Islam, more people just started following that. But I had like a close relationship with my cousin, and we ended up like falling out. But again, is the whole thing with good versus, I don't want to say evil. I don't want to say he was an evil person, but he just wasn't living right. And he wasn't ready to. He wasn't ready to start living right. You know what I'm saying? So, my relationship with him kind of fell off, but my relationship with other Muslims, it just started to really develop. And I was really at a point where, like, if you ain't talking about the deen, we ain't really got nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, if you ain't talking about this, we ain't really got nothing to talk about for real.
Yeah.
So that's where I was at. And I was always in the masjid, always at the masjid for all my prayers. Like, I'm going to the masjid. So I just surrounded myself with like-minded people. Actually, it was unintentional.
It just happened.
It just happened that way. And then, like, those started to be the people who I see myself with regularly. Like, they not my friends. Like, they not like my first set of friend group. You know what I'm saying? But this is who I'm with on a day-to-day basis. So I'm developing relationships with these people and getting this knowledge and then taking it back to my friend group.
Yeah.
And like I said, my friend group, and they were all like older men. They were already Muslim, but they weren't living their life in an implementation standpoint of it. You know what I'm saying? It was just a Muslim, salam alaikum, that. But the more I started going to the masjid and all that stuff, now they want to come to the masjid. Yeah. They stop smoking cigarettes and stuff, or, when I'm around, they stop smoking cigarettes around me. You know what I'm saying? So I started to really notice that. And it was just like, like, that's what we on. So we just went that way.
Yeah. It's something you said right there in a few minutes prior. You said that when you started moving in true like Muslim fashion or like honoring your faith, it comes out in your limbs, right? What was that phrase that you said?
Anything that's in your heart is going to reflect on your limbs. So. And
you putting it to action, and by it acting out in your limbs, that's basically you putting it into action. Yes. People see that, and they by you being a leader, they want to follow that.
Exactly.
And I think that similar in my faith, I think that's a really cool connection that we could have. We have is by being, Christian, it's our duty. And it sounds like by being Muslim, it's your duty to, move in that love and move out and act those things out. Like actually do them, because by doing them, you're not just talking, hey, I'm a Muslim or I'm a Christian.
Right.
You're showing it through your actions, and actions speak louder than words.
Yes. Your reward is by way of your intention. If your intention is pure, your reward is going to be pure. So that's gonna always be the case. So if you being genuine with whatever it is that you intend, then your reward is gonna come back tenfold.
Yeah.
So that's just, I don't know. That's in the book. So that's just how it comes
facts.
out.
No, that's incredible. And you talk about like the people that you are around, they respect that.
Yeah.
You know, like by you showing like I'm not just talking, or I'm not play about this. I'm serious about this. By you, like you said, you rolling up your pants and like you're not doing the things that you were doing. It shows your friends like, yo, all right, we can't bid on that, or we can't joke and say,
oh, they would try.
Of course people go, because at first I think with anything that's new to you, that your friends never seen you do, of course it start off as a joke. Yeah. But when the more consistent you are, and they see that you're serious about it, all right, we gonna stop joking about it because he's serious, and we ain't gonna do those things around him.
Yeah, the joke started to become disrespect, and I don't tolerate disrespect. Yeah, because I don't disrespect. Yeah, you know, if I disrespect you, it's because I want a problem with you. Yeah, but I don't tolerate disrespect because I don't disrespect people. So, yeah, I got my brother, Bank with the Dank.
Well, that's your brother. Yeah, that's fire. That's fire. Yeah. That's fire. Shout out to Bank with the Dank.
Yeah, he wasn't Muslim, so he was one of the people. He's my closest, like the closest person to me. So it's like he wasn't Muslim when I started practicing. Okay, and he was always heavy on like, you know, I'm never becoming Muslim.
After you became Muslim,
after I became Muslim, he would say like, I ain't never doing it, and he Muslim now.
Wow. Yeah. And how was that? Like, what was that initial conversation
of like me becoming Muslim?
No, him.
Oh, him becoming Muslim? Yeah. So he worked at where he worked with Muslims. Okay. So he was already hip to, you know, Ramadan and fasting and all that stuff. So I think he was just more empathetic about like when it was just so close to him being me. So he was already empathetic about it. And then I don't actually remember the initial conversation, but I remember the initial day when he became Muslim.
Okay, talk about it.
He like leading up to it, he was just like, you know, I'm ready to take my shahada and And
what was your response?
I'm like, come on, let's do it. Like, I'm gonna give it to you right now. Yeah. Like, come on. He's like, oh no, I'm gonna wait. I'm like, no, we're gonna do it right now. Okay. I want to say it might have been like on one of my birthdays or something that he became Muslim, but I remember we was on 27th and Clearfield at the park in our neighborhood. Okay. And I gave him a shahada right there.
Man, that's beautiful, bro.
Yeah, that was probably one of the best days of my life, man. Yeah, for sure.
That's a testament, man. That's a testament, bro.
For sure, one of the best days of my life.
Yeah. So shout out to Bank with the Dank.
Yeah, shout out to Bank.
You know what I mean? That's cool because I see your vibe. I just thought y'all was really close homies. But
I mean, we are close homies, but for me to call him anything other than my brother would be like disrespect almost. Yeah. Like that's disrespect to our relationship. We like 20 years in. We know each other since we was like 15. Yeah. And literally talk to each other every day. Yeah. Since then, like.
No, I can tell because the way you mentioned him on the songs and all of that, just made me. And then I see how like y'all chemistry together is. Yeah. Like you don't go without mentioning them. I was like, yo, bro, this is like solid homies right here.
That's really like. This probably sounds a little weird, but like I think Bank is my soulmate. Like, yeah, I really think that's like my, like.
That's real.
That's my guy.
Yeah, that could be. I think that's real because it's common. Like you could, like I've heard that like with girls, like, oh, that's my, my friend and all of that. Yeah. But that's dope, and it's really. I applaud you for saying that, being transparent to say that.
No, I really think that.
Because I'm sure you feel the same way.
I really think that. Like I feel like the level of our relationship is like what I've always longed for with a female partner. Okay. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the acceptance of who I am and acceptance of each other and the understanding of each other. And then the loyalty, amongst me and him, like it's unbreakable. So, yeah.
Man, that's incredible because I have friends like that too. And I probably never said it like out loud like that, but I think that's true. Like you can have homies that you feel like close with because then it correlates to when you find a person, like a woman that you are a partner with, like with my wife, sometimes in conversation, it might slip out. It's easy to say, yo, bro, let me tell you. But I'm thinking about that homie that I can laugh and tell anything to. And my wife is my homie. You know what I'm saying?
Did she ever hit you with like, girl?
No, she'll say that or something like that with, what I mean? Like, yeah, child, or the beat, big. I'm like, And because it's her, because everything she say, I receive it with love, but I go along with it. Or sometimes I'll be like, child, or I bid with her the way I can't, I couldn't bid with other people. So I bid with her too, or I'll be like, she say this thing, she be like, I'm hollering. And I say that, and she laugh when I say that, like, because I could be myself with her. But man, shout out to just cool relationships, incredible dynamic relationships, whether it's with your homies or your partner that you can be yourself, your authentic self with. And shout out to unconditional love and acceptance.
Unconditional love and acceptance.
So
that's the peak of it all for me.
Yeah, say like unconditional love and acceptance.
Yeah, that's what I long for.
Yeah,
from humans like that, because that's what I give. I accept everybody.
Yeah,
you know, and there's no conditions to me. Everything I do out of love. Yeah, I don't do it for love. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a difference. So
it is.
For me, it's I don't know. I just feel like I'm just such a genuine person. Yeah. I'm never on some like, oh, what can I gain from this? It's always just about that person. Just listen, bro. Just let me tell you this.
Tell me.
Just walking in here, right? It was a guy on the phone, and he cussing, and he's hollering about like, I gotta pay $500 something to get this off my car, and it ain't had nothing to do with me. And I wanted to just say like you want me to pay for you? Did you pay it? If you didn't pay it, like, I could go pay it for you and get it off your car. Yeah. But I was just kind of like hesitant about it. For one, I didn't want to be late coming here.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Man, shout out to my guy for not wanting to be late.
So that was one part of it. But the other part of it was I just got like out of debt. Like, not like bad debt, but like I don't owe nobody money. So it's like like zero, not debt free, like being debt free.
Man, give it up for that. Give it up for that, for being out of debt, bro. That's huge, bro. That's huge, bro. Let me hold something.
But like, so, but just that thought that crossed my mind, like, damn, maybe I could just pay this for him. Yeah. And I don't want nothing in return. You know what I'm saying? It's just, if you in a tough spot, sometimes that's what you need. You just need for somebody to overhear your conversation and be like, I got that for you. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
and gotta put you in them places for that too.
And that's how I always look at it. Always look at stuff like that. Cause I've had situations where, you know, I couldn't pay my rent. Yeah. And I'm ready to go in isolation mode. And then there's this girl who I ain't talked to in 8 months, but I really like, but I ain't talked to her. She hit me up, what you doing? And, you know, we end up in a conversation that, you know, I'm behind on my rent. And then next thing you know, she come through with the money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I don't look at stuff like that like, oh, I'm playing on people's stuff, or I'm trying to, you know, take advantage of them. To me, that's like, you were sent to me as a vessel to vent to you about this situation. Because, you know, we men, we got pride. Yeah. We ain't really venting to just any old body about stuff like that.
Selective.
You know what I'm saying? So if something like that actually happens, it's like, this was meant to happen. Yeah. So, yeah.
So I want to ask you, because even in that conversation right there, there was a woman that you was talking to that you haven't talked to in a while. I had the conversation, and then in the conversation, you asked her, I'm going to ask you, how did you become vulnerable enough to be able to share with this woman that you needed something? Because that's not easy, because rent be high. Like, how were you able to ask a woman, right? And the reason why I say woman like that is because, like you said, with men, we have pride and ego.
Pride.
And we definitely have pride and ego with women, because I feel as though we're in a culture right now where it's like, brokey, you know what I'm saying? Bro, if you broke, bro, that's the thing. And when they came out with that song, bro, it make you scared to be like, I ain't got it.
Nah,
so how did you feel comfortable enough to do that, bro? To ask that?
I think it had more to do with her making me feel comfortable enough to do that, to say that. You know what I'm saying?
I know the feeling.
Me and her actually have a son together. I ended up marrying her.
Wow.
Yeah, I ended up marrying her, and we had a son together. We're not married no more, but I ended up marrying her. We had a son together.
Makes sense.
So like, but I think it was more of her making me feel comfortable enough to even ask her, or accept that from her. Okay. Because, you know, it's not really an ass if you just venting, and then they say like, oh, well, you know, I got you. Yeah. But to accept it, like, it's the pride in you. Hey, you're like, I can't take that from you. Yeah. And that's a big ask too. Yeah. Like, so it's like, nah, not that.
Yeah.
Maybe you put something on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Give me a little something. Then,
thing,
like, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? But I think for me, it was just like, I think it was having that understanding that when you ask for something, God will send it to you, but he won't send it to you it won't just appear.
Or the way you want it to appear.
It won't appear the way you want it to appear.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you ever heard the story about the man that was drowning?
I think so. Did they talk about that on The Pursuit of Happiness?
I don't know if it was Pursuit of Happiness.
But tell me about it, because I think, tell me about it.
The story is like, it was a man that was drowning or something like that, and then the guy came through in a boat. The guy came through in like a small boat and was like, get in. Yeah. And the guy was like, no, I have my faith. I believe in God, and God is going to save me. So the guy in the little boat drove off. Another guy came through on the boat. Get in the boat, I'll save your life. No, I have my faith. I believe in God, and God is going to save me. Another guy came through, same thing. And then the guy drowned, and he died, and he went to heaven. And his first question in heaven was like, God, why didn't you save me? And God was like, dude, I sent you 3 boats.
Bro, they said that. You ever seen The Pursuit of Happiness?
Yeah, I have.
That's what Jade.
Oh, that was the joke that Jaden said.
He was like, but God said, he was like, I sent you 3 boats, you big dummy.
Yeah.
So and that's one of my favorite movies. But that message right there is, it correlates so well to what you just said about how we'll pray for something and God will send it. And then if it don't look like how we want it to look like, we'll just be like, nope.
Listen.
We nope.
You ever pray for patience and get sent a bunch of tests?
Yeah, you be like, yo, what is going on?
What is going on?
You know, what's going on? Like, oh, I'm so irritated. I'm frustrated. Man. God is like,
oh, man.
That's what you asked for.
That's what you asked for.
You asked for this. And so now that test.
Having that wherewithal of that understanding of this is how it goes. Yeah. It ain't as fickle as your imagination, tries to make it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come to you like that. It's gonna come to you, and you ain't gonna ask for 50,000 and it's just gonna appear in a duffel bag. You gonna ask for 50,000 and then a job is gonna call you and say, hey, are you still looking to be employed by us? You know what I'm saying? That's how it's gonna work. Yeah. Faith, what is it? Faith without works is
dead.
There you go.
Faith without work is dead. And I think that we are also in a microwave culture at times where it's like you see this person, it looked like they just happened overnight, but we don't see the part where they've been grinding for years or behind the scenes, and then they get their blessing. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? So like they see Spady, you know what I'm saying, on Billboard, which we're gonna talk about. They see Spady, headlining at Moody's Clubhouse. We're gonna talk about that. They see you do a lot of stuff, bro. And they like, yo, this guy was gone for this many years. Yeah. Where has he been? But they don't see that you took time off to dedicate your faith. And the one thing I know, I'm sure it's common in both our faiths, that God will put you on the elevator and put you where you're supposed to be. Yeah. By dedicating and focusing on him.
I for sure think that. I think that. So a lot of people don't know, like, in my religion, we not allowed to do music.
So what is that called? I heard a term before. What's that term?
Haram.
What is it?
Haram.
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 Haram. Yeah. Because I think I heard Beanie Siegel say it in an interview before. He was like, it's haram.
It's haram.
Yeah.
It's haram.
And what does that mean?
It's not permissible.
So you shouldn't do it.
You can't do it.
You can't do it.
Can't. So like, haram means like not permissible. I think my crew is like, shouldn't do it, like it's bad, but it ain't a sin.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, music is haram. So like, if somebody were to ever like how you would say, like, it's a blessing for you to be able to do music, I'm just like, no, not really. Nah, it's not.
You like, I'm treading the line. I'm not even supposed to be doing this.
Like, for me, I feel like a part of me feels like your sins get you closer to God. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the stuff that you do wrong, it somehow brings you closer to your faith. Like,
I agree.
And I don't know why I think that. I just do think that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and that's not to say, like, that's the reason why I'm sinning. Yeah. Not at all. Not at all. This is just the thing for me that I struggle with. So everybody has the thing that they struggle with. Yeah. It ain't women. I don't do no drugs. I don't do no drinking. I can stop cursing. Yeah. I could leave off the food. I could leave off the drink. But it's something about this that it affects me differently. Music. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, and like I said, everybody has their vices.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, you know, pray for me. You can judge me if you want, but you know, your judgment ain't really gonna matter. You can send me the reminders, and that's the helpfulness. Send me the reminders like, hey, you know, you shouldn't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the helpful stuff. So yeah, man.
So I want to ask you, right? Because hearing that, knowing that it's haram, that it's not permissible, that you shouldn't be doing it. I don't know what your music was like before. Like, because I was trying to find it, but if you could catch me up and just tell me, what was your music like from 2008 to 2011? Because we're going to get into the music now, because the music now, I can see why it is, that it's like a vice, and in a good way. Like, this is a good vice, because the name of this episode, bro, you inspired it. It was something else. But the name of this episode is God Using You, bro. That's the name of this episode. You inspired it, bro. Because after hearing your music, I truly feel as though your God is using you. Because, bro, the way that you just paint a picture, you know, whether it's like in a beautiful letdown and talk about the Dear Diary and things I cry about and everything that you're describing, the things you talk about, I relate to a lot of it, but I know a lot of other men relate to it, and I know it connects with people, and I truly believe that God is using you. So I think that that's why, like, although it may be, you know, you shouldn't be doing it, but I think that the reason, my assumption, I assume that the reason why you've been put in places like these high places, in these rooms, in these stages, is because God is using you. And he's like, although you're not supposed to be doing it, but with great power comes great responsibility. Like Spider-Man said, you know, he's putting you in these places to show that, to be a vessel. You know what I mean? So with that being said, what was your music like before you became Muslim? And are we good on time, baby? What was your music like from 2008 to 2011, if you want to touch on it? Speak on it.
Crack.
Yeah.
Guns. Violence.
Yeah.
I was talking crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
So total, like,
crazy. Total 360. But it was, what it was the commonality of my music then and my music now is it was always honest. It wasn't nothing fabricated. Might have been some exaggerated stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But it wasn't nothing ever like I didn't do. Which sounds crazy in this day and age to say, because it's like I was telling on myself.
Yeah, well, I mean, statute of limitations.
Statute of limitations is up.
It's
me,
up.
You know
so talk about it, brother.
Life.
No, don't talk about it here. But I'm just saying.
No, I get you. But yeah, it was typical, atypical, you know, gangsta hip hop stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not all of it though. Like, some of it was conceptual.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a song called California Soul.
Okay.
Right? I got a song called California Soul where I'm rapping about California. And I've never been to California.
I got to hear that, because you're a great storyteller, so I would love to hear. Send me that, man.
It is so crazy. So this song is I'm rapping about California, but I've never been to California. And at the end of the song, I say, the alarm clock go off, dog licking my toes. I've never been to Cali, but I know I got. And then there's a sample that says California.
Oh, that's hard. Send me that, bro.
I'll send it to you. But like, the whole song, I'm kind of just rapping about, being in California. And I've never been to California.
How about to this day? Have you been there?
Nope.
No, I guarantee you, bro, after this interview, you go to California. I feel like you're going to go, bro. And when I see it on your story, I'm like, yo, bro. I told you, bro. And if you need a photographer to go with you, I'm your guy.
Okay.
I mean, I know I'm sure you got some people. But if you need a photographer to go with you, babe, I could go. I could go to California with Spady.
She coming too.
Oh, babe, you going to yes, you is. You coming to California with me and Spady. We out. We out.
You gotta bring your wife.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, real rap, yo. Because listen, I see Savannah every game LeBron at. Savannah is in the stands.
You gotta bring your wife, bro. Keep you out of trouble for sure.
Real rap. So, well, speaking on, you gotta bring your wife, right? I'm just want to ask you. You were married.
I was, yeah.
You was married. What? How long were you married for?
So I was married. I've been married 3 times to 2 different women.
Okay.
First was love. Second time it was just redemption. The third one
redemption
was a prayer that I asked for. But all 3 ended in divorce that they asked for.
That was in one of the songs.
Yeah.
I knew what was one of the songs, but tell me, all right.
So
what was the redemption? Go ahead.
So I was married. I got married young.
Okay. How young?
How old was I? Like 24, maybe.
Okay. Kobe year. Okay.
Yeah. Got married at like 24. First wife that ended probably like a little over a year.
Okay.
Typical nigga reasons.
Okay.
And then remarried her probably like 6 years later.
Because you did some growth.
A lot of growth.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't the reason why I married her, though.
Okay.
The growth wasn't the reason why I married her.
What was the reason? The redemption?
The redemption. And not only that, but she got 2 children that were, in my mind, my children. They weren't my children.
You talked about like your stepson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So instantly, you know, you see them again after not seeing them for so long, and they like, "Are you coming back?" It's like, of course I'm coming back.
Yeah. You know y'all mine. I miss y'all.
Right. So, so I remarried her, and then on top of that, I married the other lady who I was just telling y'all about, who helped me out of my situation. But I married them like 8 days apart.
Okay.
So the way it went, I don't think I've ever told this story.
There's a lot of math, bro.
Yeah.
I'm keeping up. Go ahead, talk about it.
So the way it went, I was supposed to marry her first.
Her as in.
So I married the so.
I don't get about this. No, go
so
ahead.
let's go with 1 and 2, right?
1 and 2. All right.
All right. So I married 1.
Okay.
At 24.
124. Kobe year.
Right, Kobe year. A couple years later, I meet 2.
2. Okay.
Right. And we just meet, like we're not married, but we meet, we talk about getting married, we move into the stages of getting married.
Okay.
We finally have the understanding, like, all right, we're gonna get married. 1 pops back out. In the process of me getting ready to marry 2.
Okay.
I explained to 2, 1 pops back out.
Okay.
2 is like, well, y'all go ahead and y'all be a happy family.
Y'all do your thing.
Right.
And how did that feel when she said that?
I mean, I was so into the faith that I just kind of knew, like, good women are for good men. And I was being a good man and she was a good woman.
So you knew it was going to come back.
So I knew she wasn't going nowhere. She said
I like
she
how you
was.
put the faith in there.
No,
I like
but that's really what it was.
You're really good. You're really good, bro.
Listen, I'm not telling those stories. That's literally what it was. I prayed for you. I prayed for you. I prayed for this woman. Like, everything about her was everything that I prayed for. Everything that I asked for in my prayer.
I believe you.
And I should have been a lot more specific with my prayer. You know what I'm saying? So, so 1 comes back around when I'm getting ready to marry 2.
Okay.
And we literally, like, you know, now it's like, all right, well, she like, well, y'all go ahead and do y'all thing. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Prayed about it. A couple of days later, she called me back and she's like, well, you know, I always said I would never do polygamy, but if I was going to do it, I would want to do it with you. And that's how I ended up in polygamous marriage.
Okay. And that says a lot about you. Because if I'm not mistaken, that I know that's like that's a part of your
it's part of the faith.
That's part of your faith. So, but that also says a lot about you that a woman feels comfortable enough to that never wanted to do it, but has decided to do it because she, you know, could just like I ain't doing it. But that says a lot about your character and you as a man and the growth that I'm sure she saw,
or at least the potential of it.
Okay,
because in those marriages was probably some of my darkest times.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what's some of your darkest times?
So just like that Dear Diary song.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
I was married at that time. So you gotta remember I'm married and I've stepped away from music. So I don't have an outlet. I don't have nothing to give me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't really have an outlet, and I can't. When you got 2 wives, bro, you can't talk to your first wife about your second wife or your second wife about your first wife.
And that's like a rule in your.
It's not that it's a rule. It's just, for one, it ain't fair.
Yeah.
For them emotionally.
Yeah.
But for the other thing is, it could get used against you. You know what I'm saying? That's pillow talking.
That makes sense. That is. That is what it is. Like essentially.
Right. So it's like, you can't do that, and you can't talk to Bank about it because Bank don't understand.
He don't understand. He gonna give you some single homie advice.
He gonna give me the single homie advice.
Yeah, something like,
And you can't talk to the brother that got 2 wives because he don't really do it right. Or, you know, he kind of don't really know it. He more so want to, like, they better get it together or they could both get done and dealt with.
Yeah. And you like, yeah.
So, and, you know, part of me was kind of taking on that advice a little bit. Like, yeah. So, in the polygamous thing, like, in my marriage, I didn't do it right.
Okay.
I don't feel like I did it right. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I had favorites. I know I had a favorite.
That's accountability.
I'm big on that, especially in that realm, because hindsight really showed me, like, you know, I don't even speak on anything that they might have done, not to people. I'm only talking about my stuff. Like,
that's huge.
This is what I did.
That's huge, bro.
I don't say anything about what they did or didn't do or whatever, like, not to the public eye. I might say it to them. You know what I'm saying? I might tell Bank about it, but that's it. But my part of it was I didn't do that right. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could have done that a whole lot better. Yeah. I could have moved a lot better in that situation, and I did.
So I want to commend you on taking accountability, because that's another thing as a black man, just as men in general, I'm sure, but definitely as a black man I can relate to. And accountability, I believe, is not something that we're taught, but it's something that we are, like, encouraged to have. And it's like you got to a place of being able to say it, because it would be way easier to point the finger at why the marriages didn't work, to say it's their fault, and not take accountability. So I think that's really that's remarkable. You know what I mean? Commendable. It says a lot about your character that you're able to have that.
I definitely don't think it's all their fault. I actually think it's majority my fault, both of them.
Yeah, because you talked about, so speaking of, because you talked about, you know, The Beautiful Letdown and their diary. So now that we went from, you jumped back into music, right? You jumped back into music in 2018. What you had all this life and experience to let out. What was the initial thought process of, I'm about to get back into music, and what inspired The Beautiful Letdown? Talk about those things.
I was just tired of sneaking.
So you were like sneaking doing music?
I was like sneaking to the studio. I was sneaking listening to music. Okay. Like, I would, like, sit in my car outside the house for like an extra 15, 20 minutes. Whole family in the crib, you know. But it was more so being like a munafikun, like I was being like a hypocrite. Okay. Like, I'm telling them, like, you know, ding, 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 the religion, and I'm over here, like, in the car, like, listening to The Weeknd. Wow. So if you got a conscience, that's gonna tear you down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that part of it was definitely tearing me up for sure. And I think that it caused a big division between me and my wife, because in her mind, I should be able to tell her anything. In my mind, I'm the husband. I got this. Yeah. At least I'm supposed to have this, right? Yeah. So, you know, while I'm over here in my operating in my ego and in my machismo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm over here being big dog because I don't want her to judge me, or I don't want her to feel like I'm not
the man,
the great leader. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want her to feel that way. Yeah. So I can't tell her.
Yeah, but in reality, you could.
In reality, I probably could have. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that it happened the way it was supposed to.
For sure. I definitely agree to that. I think it all turned out the way it was supposed to turn out, because it was a lot of stuff. Yeah. But what ended up getting me back into music was like really saying, like, all right, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I'm locking in.
I just wanted, I know how it felt. I know how it made me feel. And it's not that the religion didn't make me feel that way too, but the religion just music felt less restrictive. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it felt less strict. So, and it was just like a weight off your shoulder. Like, I could actually say something about what I was actually dealing with from a mental standpoint. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, like, on top of me having 2 wives who I'm now kind of gang warring with, I got a baby mom who is getting the fuck on my nerves.
Yeah.
You know, like top tier getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a saying, the straw that broke the camel's back.
Okay.
So it was like, I was just getting it from all different angles, man. And it just, the roof just kind of came crashing down.
Okay, so it crashed down, and then you was like, all right, I'm back. And then you just like locked back in. You start releasing music.
It wasn't really like that. It was more so like, so I had a suicide attempt, a failed one.
You talked about that. You talked about that.
So that's Dear Diary.
Yeah.
So I had a failed suicide attempt, and after that, I just was like, I want to be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be happy.
Yeah.
For me, not for my kids, not for their moms, not for my wives, not for my stepkids. I want to be happy for me. Yeah. And that was just like the awakening of it all. So it was like, you know, music make me feel good. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna spend my extra little $40 at the studio. Yeah. And I'm gonna go make these records. Yeah. And I didn't tell nobody. But I told myself that I didn't need to tell nobody. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told myself, you don't need to tell nobody what you doing, what you cooking up, none of that. And I slowly but surely started cooking up the Beautiful Letdown.
Bro, and it is a beautiful piece of work, bro. It's a beautiful piece of work. I tuned into that, and man, it just gave me a appreciation for you as an artist. Because I mean, if you can't tell, I'm a fan, right?
Thank you.
I'm a fan, bro. I got a lot of love for you because of that day at the event, and just after hearing your project. Like, I remember that morning I was on my way into the city, and I screenshotted it. I'm like, yo, bro, like it wasn't no letdowns in the project. I'm like, bro, talking. So I'm a fan, and the next thing that I want to, you know, give you your flowers on is I can see why you were invited on the Breakfast Club. I can see why you were, you know, listed as, correct me if I'm wrong, number 77. Yeah. Number 77, bro, number 77 on the Billboard. Yeah. And it's love to get like recognition in your city, to get recognition in different places. But globally, Billboard is global, bro. Yeah, and I want to give you your flowers for that. Thank because you. When you said that at the show, I was tuned in. But my wife would tell you, I was like, that was a flex, right? But that was like such a glorious flex, bro. It didn't feel like a flex. I was happy for you, like you was my homie when you was like, yeah, and I'm the, you know, you said, this is my impression. He's like, yeah, and I'm the first independent artist to be on Billboard, and I was like,
fully independent artist in the city of Philadelphia.
And I was like, hold up. I was like, wait, let me do my research, and I saw it, and I followed you, and I seen the plaque, bro. Yeah. So I just want to ask you, what was that like to, like, first of all, how did you find out? Because that project that you got, you know, charted for, it's incredible. Yeah. So shout out to that.
Thank you.
But what was that like to find out?
So I was initially trying to I wanted to chart on iTunes. Okay. So I didn't like know about like Billboard or anything like that. I mean, I knew about it, but the way to do it, I didn't know. So I just wanted to go on iTunes. So I started researching like how to chart on iTunes, but every time you put that in, Billboards would come up. Okay. So I just did a lot of extensive amounts of research, bro, on how to do it. Okay. So, and I just followed that blueprint, you know what I'm saying? I did my pre-orders and all of that. And this is the part that the people don't really see. Okay. I went outside and I worked. I'm outside day in and day out with a bullhorn selling my album. Selling my album, just like, you know, I had a whole little spill. 7/23/23. That's the day it's gonna be about me. Then like I'm just out there.
You was your own street team.
I was my own. Me and Smiles. Okay. Smiles.
Shout out to Smiles.
Shout out to Smiles for real. That's my dog. Like me and her. Yeah. Some days we was the only ones. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Most days we was the only ones. We had days where there were like people, you know, shout out Works in London, Marie London. She came out a day or two.
Shout out to her.
And she was always willing to come out too. Like, let me not, you know, I don't want to slight her at all. But who was there? Standing. Yeah. Smiles was there. So just doing the work and trying to see like how much I need to sell. Yeah. So the goal was 1,000 for me, but that was me marking it up.
Okay.
So it was like, I think the guy had said like, if you sell like 400 copies, you know, you'll chart.
Yeah.
And he had did it, and he was like 99.
Okay.
So I'm like,
watch this.
All right, let me see how many I can. So I'm just like, let me see how many I could do. I think I could do 1,000.
Yeah.
We did like 1,079 or something like that. We did 1,079, and that was just on my platform.
Okay.
So
your platform.
That was from my website. Okay. So we didn't even, when we counted up the iTunes sales. Okay. That accumulated part of it too. So all in all, I think it was at like 1,112. I think I can't remember.
Congrats,
exactly.
Bro.
Thank you.
Congrats.
So, bro. the process of it, right?
Yeah.
I had asked Jermaine Dolly. You know Dolly?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So Dolly. So Dolly is my guy. Shout out to Dolly, man.
Dope.
He had charted Billboard.
That song, was it that joint?
I think so.
That song crazy. That song crazy.
So. I think it was that joint. He had 2 number ones though.
Yeah. He get busy.
So he
get busy. Shout out to Jermaine Dolly.
So he had charted. I'll be playing ball with him, and I had asked him. I was on his page one day and I seen his plaques in the background. So I asked him, I'm like, what's the process when that happens? And he ran it down to me exactly what was going to happen. And everything he said happened to me. Somebody reached out to me, sent me an email saying like, hey, your album is charting on these 2. Send us your information so we could plug it in. So I'm like, oh.
It's real.
It's real.
It's real.
I sent them my information. And the week that they were supposed to put it up, this was the week Taylor Swift got moved out of number 1, so it was a lot of glitches.
Okay, so were you a little nervous?
I was shook. Like, I'm sitting here like, oh, somebody done schemed me. Somebody playing with me. My album ain't really charged. You know what I'm saying? So I just, you know, once I actually for a moment just forgot about it. Just like I ain't even worry about it. Like,
put it up. Just let it go.
Put my hands up.
Yeah.
I went and checked it, and it was up there. But here's the thing, my album was 77, but me as an artist, I was on the emerging artist chart at number 46.
Seen it, independent emerging artist, yeah.
So
congrats, bro.
Thank you, bro. The best part to me was like on my name, like when you click your name, it shows your label.
You said the coolest thing or the dopest thing that you saw was, what did you see when you clicked on there?
The best part was seeing my label. So seeing Bank and Spady Entertainment as my imprint
on Billboard,
that was the best part for me.
Yeah, because
everybody else that was up there, they'll have like their label, and then it'll say like Sony or Universal or you know what I'm saying. It was like or it'll show like they have some type of backing. Yeah, and for me, it was just me, my thing. You know, independent. So that was beautiful for me. Like that was one of the best parts for me for sure.
Well, that is beautiful, bro. So I want to salute you on Billboard, bro. And it was legit because I seen on your page I'm glad you have it up there. You actually holding the Billboard plaque, babe. My wife? Shout out to my wife behind the camera holding it down. I was like, babe, how hyped was I when I was like, yo, he got the Billboard plaque on all that. I was hyped for you, like you my homie, bro, because you is my homie. You my homie now. It don't say you officially my homie, but I was hyped for you when I seen that plaque, bro. I started like, yo, bring the plaque, but we ain't going to do that. But I was like hyped, like, yo, bro, really got the plaque. So shout out to you, and I can see why you were, you know, on the chart for that, because that project right there was very therapeutic. Yeah. It was very honest, very transparent, and I know so many people related to that, and I just believe God used you through that album, bro. He really did. And so now I want to ask you, man, do you still, after hearing your story and after we had this conversation, do you still want to get married?
Yeah.
Are you in a relationship currently?
No, I'm single.
You single?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm single. But I'm going to get married soon, though. Inshallah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, with that being said, because you did the polygamy thing, and it is a part of your religion, no knock if it is going to be polygamy, but do you plan on getting, I know you said you want a relationship, would you get married again, and do you have a preference on if it's polygamy or if it just be one person?
I don't have a preference, but we gonna do one.
Okay.
We gonna do one.
We gonna focus on one. You know what I'm saying? Go one thing.
If two is more than just a desire, then I would entertain it.
Okay.
If it's a necessity.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it if I don't need it.
Okay.
And not just like me needing it, but the woman might need it.
Okay.
Or my wife might need it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going into a situation like, oh yeah, big polygamy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But whoever I marry, they got to be open to it though, because I'm not taking it off my table.
I got you.
Because in the faith, people think that when you want to take on a second wife, that you got to get permission from your first wife. That's not true.
Okay.
So you don't need permission from your first wife. This is your right from God to take on up to 4 wives, as long as you can take care of them all equally.
Okay.
And people think taking care of them means money. It's not just money.
You break that down.
It's your time. It's your emotional maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever dealt with multiple women at one time in your past life.
Yeah.
Emotional maintenance on multiple women is very difficult.
Yeah, it's like
emotional maintenance on one woman is difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's part of the care package that comes with multiple women. And not for nothing, man, a lot of men, we ain't done that work enough to be able to handle that emotional maintenance.
That's real, bro. That's real. We think because the idea of it, because I can recall like in an immature mind or a younger mind, or it was never for me, but you just hear people talk about it like this and that, and like the multiple women, or they're talking to different shorties or whatever, and it sounds cool and it sounds easy, but you got it, like you just said, you have to have that like emotional intelligence for it, because it requires that. You gotta
have a high emotional IQ, and you gotta have a high emotional tolerance, because you getting a lot back. Like just think if you taking care of 2 women, you gonna have to work majority of the time.
Twice as hard.
And from that, it's going to come a lot of backlash because you ain't home. Yeah, we got the bills is paid. We got everything we need physically, but she wants you.
Yeah.
They want you.
They want you.
They want you.
It's like 2, bro.
And they want you when they want you.
When they want you. It's like, bro, I need Red Bull. I need seltzer. I need a lot of energy for that.
Get you some sea moss. You'll be all right.
Oh, you got to put me on, bro. I never put me on to the sea moss.
Yeah, I got you.
Because I never tried it.
I got you.
Well, I'm lying. My wife introduced me to so many like really cool things, and she put me on to some sea moss, but I never had sea moss from my homie Spady, so I would love some sea moss. You got me, Spady?
I got you, bro.
All right, listen, that's on camera, and we gonna run it back. Spady said he got me with the sea moss. So shout out to you for that, bro.
You gonna thank me, and she gonna thank me too.
Oh, all right. Yeah. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna listen. The same way you was looking at that billboard and waiting for your chart, I'm gonna make sure it wasn't. I'm like, yo, Spady, what's up? Where my order at? I'll meet you or whatever. Where we gotta be.
Don't worry about it. I got you.
But man, this has been a beautiful conversation. And before we go, the theme of this show, this podcast, this space is a safe space for unlearning, healing, and learning to love. Relearning. So I want to ask you, what are some things that you've unlearned, that you've healed from, so that you're able to love moving forward?
I've unlearned when to utilize my ego. It's not always good to lead with your ego. So I've learned when to use it. When I'm on that stage, it's ego. I'm giving you all chest out. But when soon as I'm off that stage and somebody comes up to me and say, let me holler at you, ego gotta go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Ego can't be in the picture, because ego it's not good. It gives you that sense of like false pride. Yeah. So you got to learn when to use it, how to use it. Yeah. So I've I guess you could say I've unlearned that, because when you coming up in the city, you think that everything that's in that ego, you think that is being a man. Yeah. You adopt that as an identity. Yes, yeah, and it's not. Yeah. That's not what being a man is. So like, I learned that. I've unlearned that. I've unlearned that there's more than that. There's only one way to skin a cat. There are multiple ways to skin a cat. I'm very gray. I'm not too far left. I'm not too far right. Like I try to stay in the middle with the moderate. And for me, it's like I don't really go too far into the emotions, and I don't really go too far into logic. But like if wherever those two meet at, that's where I live at.
Yeah.
And if something don't make sense to me, I'm gonna say it don't make sense to me.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna fight that it don't make sense to me.
Yeah, you ain't gonna force that.
I'm not gonna force that it don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've unlearned operating out of just that one thing, like, oh, the emotion, like, oh, this is what it looks like, so that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I might be looking at it from a different angle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, than you.
Yeah.
We could be looking at the same thing and seeing two different things because we're looking at two different angles. So I had to unlearn that. What was the second part? What I'm healing out of?
What have you healed from, or what are you healing from?
Okay. I think I've healed from the lack of. I don't want to. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this the only way I know how to say it, but I know it's not gonna land how it's supposed to land. So
Safe space.
The lack of maternal relationship, right? So, but what I mean to say is like, my mom was there, but my mom wasn't the mom that I wanted her to be.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely know what you're saying.
So it's like, I healed from that. I had to heal from that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why I got blessed with a daughter. When I got blessed, I got all sons and a daughter, one daughter. And my daughter came at a time where I was being a hoe.
Okay.
So I needed her.
Inspired Womanizer? Is that the song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And people don't understand that song either.
I heard it, bro. I'm tuned in, bro.
Yo,
I'm a fan, bro. I was tuned in.
They listen to it and they like. I had a girl tell me like, I don't want to talk to you no more because of this song.
Word?
Yeah. And I'm like, well, then you didn't listen to the song. If you don't want to talk to me no more because you heard the song, you didn't listen to the song.
She heard it. She listened to it differently than she's supposed to. I got you.
At the end of the song, my daughter is literally at the end of the song.
Yeah.
So it's like,
which was dope, by the way. So your daughter was at the end of the song.
Yeah, she's at the end of the song. But like, when I had her, I was really out here on my reckless. Like, I didn't care about nothing. Yeah. Like, you know, the whole phase.
Yeah.
I think a lot of men go through that, but just letting go of that part of you know, having that resentment towards my mom. For feeling like she wasn't the mom that I wanted her to be. But in all actuality, she was a mom that she was the mom that I needed her to be. Okay. And her being the mom that I needed her to be taught me a lot about like being domestic. You know what I'm saying? And learning to live my life without being dependent upon a woman. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
huge.
Like, it's very huge, and I didn't realize how huge it was until I had to live my life without a woman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So shout out to my mom for that.
Shout out to your mom for that.
Yeah.
I could definitely relate because it's like similar with my mom. I definitely struggled with the maternal thing, and it wasn't until because my mom passed a year ago, and it wasn't until like I was taking care of her. Like I was partly responsible for being her healthcare provider, and like. It wasn't until I seen her need me to take care of her where I really forgave her. Yeah. I held on to a lot of resentment. So, you know, when you say shout out to your mom, shout out to my mom for that as well. Yeah. For that space, man. And how has that been able to help you love?
I think it's a
culmination? Yeah, culmination.
It's a culmination of things. It's myself. Learning to love myself first, learning to take care of myself first, learning to love other people through me, because that's a different kind of love. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't love nobody for my own purpose, for my own, you know, for me. I love people because I want to. Yeah, it's a choice. It's your decision. It's my choice to love you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If your wife ever asks you, why do you love me? the first thing you should tell her is because I want to.
Mm.
It shouldn't be nothing that she did to make you love her. You should love her because I want to love you. That's why I'm in love with you.
That's super thorough because I feel like we had like a conversation like that recently, and like, man, she be on it, bro. It's like I answered. I think the first way was kind of like because of you or something like that, but then I thought about it again because she gave me this look and she asked me again, and I was like, and I gave something. It was kind of cool too. Like it was kind of cool how I said it the second time, and then she just looked and I was like, man, it made me think about that. Yeah. So it was similar to what you're saying, but I received what you're saying. And it gave me some insight. I thank you for sharing that, bro.
No problem. But yeah, that's
sharing that.
that's like, you know, that's part of it. But also just, you know, my daughter, my mom, my grandma, like they really.
So you were saying your daughter?
Yeah, my daughter, my mom, my grandma. Like I feel like they are the perfect, you know, culmination of how I choose to love. Yeah. You know, whoever my spouse is going to be. But that's how I want to operate with my spouse, like how I operate with them.
I got you.
Yeah.
So with that being said, man, this has been an incredible conversation. Spady, I thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, bro.
For like just embracing me with love. You know, on this couch, the day I met you at the open, the open mic, the vibe at Poetry Night, and this has been an incredible episode of the Keisha'shusband podcast. You say it again. Say it again.
Shout out to Keisha and her husband.
Yeah, bro. And listen, I just want to say, man, I thank you for just embracing me and my wife with love and just joy. And we look forward to coming to LA with you, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? We look forward to coming to LA with you.
25, we in LA.
Listen, 2025, Spady said it. And before we go, real quick, because they're going to be knocking on the door soon, shout out to you for Moody's Clubhouse. Real quick, tell me how was the performance?
The performance was good.
Yeah.
I don't think it was great. I don't feel like one of the songs I did translated well. Okay. But, you know, I think I performed well. But it was a learning curve for sure. Yeah. All the other performers were crazy dope, bro.
Yeah, like, shout out to everybody.
Shout out to everybody. Definitely shout out to Chill Moody.
Shout out to Chill Moody for that. Yeah. So thank you, bro.
Yeah. Thank you, bro. Thank you for pressing me at the VIP.
Of course, bro. What you say I said?
Like, let me talk to you outside real quick.
Listen, I just want to encourage anybody out there. If you see an opportunity, whether it's a partner that you want to date, whether it's an opportunity of interviewing somebody, whether it's an opportunity to build with somebody, don't be scared to say, let me talk to you real quick. Because you can have a conversation and a homie for life, man. Yeah, so shout out to you. You got the socks and you do stocks.
I got the socks. I do stocks. I got hoodies. I got T-shirts. I got hats. I got it all, man. I'm trying to get a good sweatpants connect.
Yeah. I think I might got somebody.
Yeah, I need quality.
Yeah,
I need quality. If I can get
got some quality. I mean, I gotta get some ones that got pockets.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
definitely
saying.
Need pockets.
Yeah,
can't have nobody out here with no
Yeah, to make sure. Yeah, exactly. No, that's what my wife called it because I wear them around the house. I don't even wear them outside no more. But you got hats and everything.
Yeah. I got everything, man. Check my website out, mespady.com. Okay. I got everything on my website. New music coming for 2025 too. So
I'm excited, bro.
Yeah, we getting back to the Billboard charts.
Ooh, Billboard, here we come.
We trying to go #1.
All right, it's on, bro. I appreciate you stopping by, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you.